Welcome to the Retro Video Store Podcast.
Welcome everyone to the Retro Video Store Podcast. I'm your host Eric.
Hi, Eric.
And that's my co-host Neil.
I'm Neil. And who is here unpaid, literally and figuratively?
Dave.
Hey, Dave. How's it going? We missed you last week.
I missed you guys. It's a hell of a movie you covered last week. I'm sorry I missed it.
Well, we're doing another hell of a movie. Maybe not as great as Halloween 2018, but I still freaking love this movie. I love this movie.
I felt a little preached at while we watched this.
A little bit, but you know, I like it. Well, before we jump into it, we're doing Halloween Kills from 2021, a movie that was affected by COVID because it got pushed back an entire year and was released in theaters and on Peacock at the same time in 2021, which is kind of sad. But there's varying opinions about Halloween Kills, but we'll get into that. But I quite enjoy it. Next week, we're going to do Maximum Overdrive, because I think Turkey Month may all be bad Stephen King adaptations, which there are plenty. We might just do lots of Stephen King movies of varying degrees of competency, but Maximum Overdrive at least for the for our first episode. Also, happy Halloween, everybody! This will be released on the day after Halloween. Hope everybody had a great Halloween. And before we jump into things like into the movie proper, let's do what we always do, and we'll ask David, since he was not here with us last week. David, what did you watch?
I literally got back last night and watched Halloween 2018 in this movie this week. Now,
all right.
Currently.
What is your general opinion about Halloween 2018?
I loved it. I was super excited when it came out, and I've watched it so many times, and as we used to say on this show, it still holds up.
Yes, still holds up.
Yep.
Even though it's only 6 years old. It was good. We enjoyed it. After watching this and watching Halloween 2018, it put Halloween back at the top of my favorite horror series. Maybe I've been sleeping on a little bit, but probably because the lows are so low in Halloween. And Friday the 13th, the bar is set very, very low all the way through.
The lows are so low in the Halloween series that they have one that doesn't even fucking have Michael Myers in it, and they still call it a Halloween movie. Can you believe that? Can you believe that garbage? Can you believe that? I would watch Halloween 3 over Halloween Resurrection with Busta Rhymes. I'd watch Halloween 3 over that. I'm show you guys the beautiful sunset here on the coast.
Look at that. Looks nice. Neil, how about you? What did you watch this week?
I went on a damn Quentin Tarantino splurge. Yeah, someone said something that reminded me of Pulp Fiction. So I wanted to watch Pulp Fiction, and then from Pulp Fiction, I went to Reservoir Dogs, and then I went to the Django's Unchained, and then I went and I watched Jackie Brown.
Classic.
I remember watching Jackie Brown the first time, feeling a little bit disappointed in it, and I think that's just because I was riding a specific Quentin Tarantino high.
Yeah.
So I watched it. I think actually that was probably the second Tarantino film I watched, and I have a much better opinion of that movie. I still have yet to watch The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, that one is a tough one for me to watch. I hear it's good, but I hear it's super, super long, and it's basically a play because you got 4 people in a one location the entire movie. It's probably good. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to that one. So that was what I did. It was just me and Quentin Tarantino and a whole crap ton of audiobooks. And lots and lots of bagpipes. More bagpipes than the typical American. That played a lot of bagpipes. Can I tell you? I'm gonna tell you this made actually the whole week for me. So we go to practice, and we all sit around a table. We're playing at a union hall for the police officers, and they put down a chunk of music in front of me, and I've never even seen it before. I've never played it, but I'm like, okay, cool. And I listened to the more experienced pipers play it one time through. We're playing on these little practice things called a chanter. I'm like, okay, oh, cool. I got the cadence of the song. Okay, I kind of understand how it is. I counted through it. So then the second time, I pick it up and I play through, and I I didn't do everything exactly the way it should have been. And then the head of the band stops. He goes, "Neil, you and Carol, I want you to play those first 4 bars." All right, my butthole puckered up about that tight, and I played through it. Carol is a much more seasoned piper by like decades, kind of an asshole, and I don't like her. So we played, and then the pipe major looks, he goes, "Neil, that was fantastic. Carol, I need to hear you do that again. There were some things in there I didn't like."
Oh, nice.
So I'm sitting slightly behind Carol, so I just gave it one of these, the old biceps. That was the highlight of the week, not just the Quentin Tarantino. Just thought I'd share that with everybody. I'm just putting that out there because I've told everybody I know that knows what I do for a hobby. That was the highlight right now. I could die today. Unfortunately, my wife would be financially destitute, but I could die happy. How was your week?
Mine was good.
Good.
I was on vacation all week, so I watched a shitload of horror movies all week. Made a quick trip to Albuquerque to visit my sister, watched a lot of AMC Fear Fest in Albuquerque, came back and watched Scream a bunch of times. For some reason, Scream 1, 2, and 3 have been on Showtime like crazy, so I've been watching Scream 1 and 2, and then when Scream 3 starts, I turn it on, I turn it off, or turn it to something else. So I watched a lot of Halloween because it's been on AMC. Watched It, the original TV miniseries, was on TV quite a bit. And then if you have MGM Plus, there is a documentary by Blumhouse about horror movies. So it's like a 7-part documentary about horror movies throughout the ages, and they talk up to a bunch of people who are into horror movies. And I watched all of that. And then we went to Glenwood Springs and ran around the hot springs.
Okay, I'm glad that you divided that because I'm like, you had a lot of time off and you were with your wife, and I know that much. And then all you did was watch movies. Where are your priorities, man? Where are your priorities? Okay.
Nobody wants to hear about my vacation, but Glenwood Springs is pretty awesome.
Don't. No hot springs updates. Don't.
Hot springs are fun. I think when you live in Colorado, that's like one of those like, hey, let's go to hot springs. So I've been to Ouray, I've been to Desert Reef, I've been to Pagosa, I've been to Glenwood Springs,
Durango.
Durango. So yeah, there's lots of hot springs that are fun. Lots of different groups of people at the hot springs of varying. Just it's a microcosm of America.
It's a microcosm of hygiene.
Yes, and we went to Desert Reef like last year, and we didn't realize that it was clothing optional. And of course, we wore clothing, and a lot of people didn't. And there was a lot of people very comfortable, and I think they were from Europe with their nudity. So, yeah.
Well, dude, you're at a hot spring, so at least you know it's really not going to, if the weather's cold when you get out, that's when there's issues. But if it's hot, everything's great at the hot spring.
Yeah, so lots of nudity at the hot spring. So, yeah. But I will say that Scream, the original one, is so good. I've seen it a bunch of times. It's always on Showtime this week. And I'm going to have what I call my post-Halloween sadness the day after Halloween when it's November. And it makes me sad that the October goes by so quickly and all the opportunities of all the horror movies I should have watched. And, it makes me sad post-October. Because I'm going to be 50. I am 52. And I'm, how many more Halloweens do I got going on? Hopefully 20 or more. At least.
If Come on, man. I see those posts you put up on the social media like, hey, look where we went to go eat. I'm going to go with if.
I know but
God, it's so freaking good though. When you post up like shit with green chili and red chili and fresh tortillas, every time I open it up, I'll just, it's like, that motherfucker. And my wife leans over, she goes, did Eric post food?
Yes.
It's like, yes, he did.
I had one of the greatest sandwiches I've ever had. It was at the Glenwood Canyon Brew Pub. It was like this roasted turkey with pork loin with habanero bacon jam and pepper jack cheese.
Shut your whore mouth. You had me at habanero bacon jam. Shut your whore mouth. Stop it.
It was so good.
Oh, speaking of good things to eat. So Dave, me and the boy, we went hiking around in the redwoods on Sunday. I don't know if you remember like the big basin fire that was out here. Yeah. So we went, figure it's been like 5 years. We go see how the forest was. And I got to tell you, you did it. There was so much of that forest was burnt. What a fucking shit job you did. Because you walk around everywhere like that tree's burnt, that tree's burnt, that tree's burnt. And you know what I saw all over the place? Like leaves and stuff. Could have raked. That would have helped.
Could have raked those leaves. Yeah.
Got to get that raked. So the whole time we're sitting there looking, well, because it's like, 40, 50 feet up in these trees. It's like black. But then right above it in the redwoods, it's just all green again. And that was exactly my kid as I'm looking. I'm like, man, check out how scorched everything is. And there's all this new growth around the trees. And the trees are all blackened and shit. And there's a lot that went down that the Forestry Service went and just basically cut in half so you could get through some of the paths. And you have to kind of squeeze through it. As we're looking at this, and that was, again, my family knowing what I do, my kid looked at me, goes, just, you don't need to be too mean to Dave about this, Dad. I'm like, nope. Nope, he's gonna get a piece of my mind.
Yeah.
I have to send you some of the pictures, man. Like being able to walk like the room inside of one of these redwoods, it's been burnt out and it's like been lopped off. You could just literally walk in and put your arms out straight and not be able to touch both sides of what's left of that tree. It's absolutely crazy. I remember when it happened, how big it was, but actually walking through it, it just gave me a real appreciation for what you guys are trying to fucking do out there. Because being from where we're at, we understand acres. This is an acre, this is 2 acres, a couple hundred acres. But when you see something like that, you get the massiveness of it. And it's like, holy shit, man. I hope Dave really does get that job at Smith's because this looks way too freaking hard. I'm looking around. I'm like, we're hiking up this thing, and it's the map goes, okay, this bit it's going to be like 352 feet up. It'll level off again. You're gonna have to go to like 200 feet. And I'm climbing up this thing, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm doing this for fun. I'm getting paid would be better. And then I look back across all the redwoods and shit, and I'm like, not when it's on fire. Fuck that. No. So good job, Dave. I mean, you could do better. Obviously, there was a lot of burned trees, but still.
Could have got there a little faster, damn it.
A little bit.
All right. So I wanted to ask a question specific to Halloween. I know this is going to come out November 1st, so hopefully Halloween will be fresh in everybody's mind. Just to kind of talk about the season. Neil, what is your favorite Halloween memory? Your favorite, thing you go back and are nostalgic for Halloween?
I think it's going to sound shitty, like it's not a great memory, but it's actually a pretty good memory. I had like a respiratory infection, and I'd gone into the hospital, and they had put me. I had a tube in my nose. I had a thing in my throat, and it was breathing for me. And they're giving me all these medicines, and I couldn't breathe, and I felt really, really awful. And then they sent me home, and I remember my dad had like giant oxygen tanks that he had picked up, and I had to lay with this thing over me with all this oxygen. And I was wearing, this is 70s. So I was wearing like matching kind of like PJs, like a shirt and like shorts, and they matched, and it had like space monsters and shit on it. And I remember being absolutely heartbroken because I was going to miss Halloween. And I was super upset about it. But my mom was like, you're too sick. You can't go out. You're way too sick. And I was coughing constantly, and my mom was giving me pills. And this is in the 70s. They would send parents home with syringes. I was getting injections from my mom, right? And as I'm laying there, I've got the lights off. I got like a little bed stand. Mom and dad had put the little black and white TV by my bed so I could kind of lean over and watch it. And then a couple of my dad's buddies all showed up with those plastic pumpkin buckets that they had taken their kids out, and they had gone trick-or-treating, and they bought me like 4 or 5 of these buckets full of candy.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's just like, at the time it wasn't great, but thinking back as an adult, that was one of the coolest things that these grown men would do for my dad to do for me. And getting older and being a dad and looking back at like Halloween, because now my favorite Halloween memories are all with my kid.
Yeah.
They're all with Joe. Like when he dressed up as a Ghostbuster, and just like I built his freaking costume and shit. And I had LEDs on it, and all the other kids were like, "That's so cool." My dad made that. But yeah, that'd probably be my favorite.
Very nice.
Just getting like feeling so bad and people going out of their way to try to be nice. What about you selfish shit? What was yours?
I was going to say, David, tell us a particular story that I know you will put your own spin
Look at the look on your face. I'm so curious now. Really, what you're setting Dave up for? I really need to know.
I don't know if there's we used to play. We used to play with a Ouija board all the time on Halloween. And, but we, yeah, and so I was just raised by one parent at the time. And so there wasn't a lot of it was just like go in the neighborhood, go trick or treat. But we used to carve pumpkins, and then we used to take needles and nails and we used to stick them from the inside out. And so when people went to go smash our pumpkins, they got their hands all bloody. And, forgot one time that we did that. And my dad went to go pick up the pumpkins the next day. And, cut his hands up, and there was a Ouija board out in the living room, and it was pretty good time.
You didn't disappoint me, David. I knew there would be something involving your dad and weird shenanigans.
Yeah, we used to try to hold these seances. Like, Dad, we're going to go out front and hold the seance and on Halloween and go trick or treating. And of course, he's like, whatever, just inside, doing what he did, and. Yeah, so we just would hold seances, play with the Ouija board, and put needles and nails in coffins, and see the next day how much blood was all over them.
Yeah,
Good old wholesome.
That was exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah,
didn't disappoint at all.
Yeah. And then when he picked up the pumpkin and got his hands all, God damn it, you just hear this yelling, and you guys aren't doing this shit anymore. Just yelling from the front yard and kicking them and screaming, and we're like, all right, we got to stop. So that was the last time.
The look of pure pleasure on your face right now, Eric, is fucking hilarious.
I just knew that he was going to come up with something off the wall.
That's so great.
I just kind of manifested that in my brain. Well, I'm going to ask David about a oddly weird, traumatic Halloween experience. So, yeah.
Oh, Eric wants to ask Dave about his Halloween. Yeah.
Well, we grew up in that house that kind of has some history to it in the town. That if you're familiar with the whole Broken Circle thing, the story of the Broken Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we grew up in the houses that one of the guys lived in.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
I'm sure all of our listeners oh, yes, the Broken Circle. We know exactly what that is. Yes, all 4 of those guys.
Farmington, New Mexico, Broken Circle. It's a murder that happened in Farmington in the 80s. And, yeah.
I grew up in
the racism that happened in Farmington.
Yeah.
Racism in Farmington? Get the fuck
We grew up in the house where they found all kinds of articles of clothing or belongings from some of the folks that had been murdered, I guess you would say. And
discount house is what you're telling me. That's going to be the house here for a discount.
Dad really looked for a good place for you to live.
Yeah, it's like, boys, we got a good deal on this house. Let's get moved.
Don't mind the chalky outline on the floor. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
David, it's your room.
So yeah, only natural that we would decide to, wait till he got really drunk and start playing at the Ouija board with candles and all that crazy shit in the house. So yeah, that's what we did for Halloween.
Wonderful. You don't even need to ask me mine. I couldn't top yours, so yeah.
Eric, what is yours?
Well, it's akin to Neil's. I mean, I had a nice childhood, so I guess. No, just kidding. I just remember
I had parents that loved me, David, is what I'm trying to say.
two memories distinctly, and I've probably talked about in our previous Halloween episodes, where we would get in the back of a pickup on Halloween night, and it was probably freezing. I would wear the same Darth Vader mask that I would get with Darth Vader, one of those vinyl costumes that you would get every year.
Let's just set the scene for the folks who may be younger than us. I think two of our listeners are, and the other two about our age. And then explain about New Mexico. When Eric says he got into the back of a pickup truck, he literally got into the bed of the pickup, not into like a second door, not behind the seat, literally in the bed of the truck in October in New Mexico, which I would like to let everybody know, butt ass cold. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I just wanted to set that so people really appreciate
a warm night. So you wouldn't have to wear it doesn't happen. So you wouldn't have to wear your jacket over your Darth Vader costume. But the 70s Halloween costumes and early 80s were a vinyl costume.
Bags. They were trash bags.
You were wearing a trash bag, and you would wear like a plastic mask that had a rubber band around it. And anyway, we would just we'd go to different neighborhoods, jump out of the back of the pickup, go say trick or treat, jump back in, jump back out, jump back in. Listen to scary Halloween records. And then we would go to the Catholic church, and they had a Halloween carnival, and there would be cakewalks and bingo and more candy and stuff like that. That was the best.
Nothing says Catholicism like celebrating Samhain.
It was an innocent time.
Well, for not everybody at the Catholic Church, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that was when I was like 6, 7, 8, 9, and then when you got a little bit older, that's when the soaping windows and the shenanigans started, getting into your brain. Yeah. All right, we're supposed to be talking about a movie.
Halloween though.
Kills, yes. But we got to talk about Halloween because, it's the best time of the year. Certainly my favorite time of the year every year. So, but Halloween Kills from 2021. Neil, do you want to hit us with the Internet Movie Database tagline?
Surviving victims of Michael Myers form a vigilante mob and vow to end his reign of terror.
And how did that turn out for them?
Not real good, because they do not know how to attack someone en masse.
Yes.
You can't do it kung fu style one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
When you're gonna take out a serial killer, you all come in at the same time.
Yes.
Like, who would win, the gorilla or 100 men? Well, if the 100 men all charged in there, one or two are going to get taken out, but the rest of you are going to take down the gorilla.
Yes. Coordinated attack. Once again, directors David Gordon Green, writers David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, and Scott Teems. Executive producer Jason Blum and Malik Akkad, and Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter were executive producers. And apparently John Carpenter had more input into this movie than Halloween 2018, but also did the score, which is awesome. This Halloween score of 2018 is really, really good, and this one is good as well. A lot of fun. An only $20 million budget, made $130 million at the box office. But like we said earlier, it was kind of affected by the COVID pandemic. It got pushed back 1 year, and got released on Peacock at the exact same time. So I remember I took my son to see this in the theater, and then the next night we watched it again on Peacock. So, yeah. Quick movie, 105 minutes, lots of kills. It is truth in advertising. Halloween Kills. There is some killing in this in this movie.
I wouldn't call this a quick movie at 105 minutes, because there are parts of this movie that felt like they went on forever.
The only parts that seem to drag for me is the hospital scene, when they're chasing the guy around the hospital, or when they're talking to Lori in the hospital. But everything else to me, I think, goes by really, really quick. And those are the only parts where I'm just like, maybe I'll fast forward this part. But the rest of it, I think, is fun. What I liked about it, or my personal opinion so far, is that I can watch it together with Halloween 2018 as like one big movie. You just kind of bookend to each other. And I forget about Halloween Ends. I want to watch Halloween Ends again and see if I think better about it, because I've only ever watched it twice, and I liked it better the second time. But then I was just like, meh, I'll just suppress it in my brain. But I enjoy this one quite a bit. So, your initial thoughts on this, David?
Yeah, it's great. It's a Halloween movie. Yeah, let me spit it out here. The hospital scene is a little drawn.
It's not the first time you've said that.
Hey. Let me tell you about another Halloween memory. But yeah, no, it just drags on. But it's we were just talking about the amount of kills in this one, Eric. How many people died?
31.
31, right there. And how many total? If you want to run down that real quick.
Yes, we Googled this right before we started recording. Who has the most kills, Jason or Michael? And overall, Leatherface is low at 31. Ghostface, which is, as we know, there's several people who are Ghostface, 46. Freddy Krueger only has 48. Jason Voorhees, 157. Michael Myers, 161. So go, Michael.
Well, yeah, he's the most prolific serial killer of all time.
Yeah, so go, Michael. Neil, tell us your initial thoughts on it.
I enjoyed it, but man, once they got on the soapbox and you're sitting there like, okay, are we talking about, is this something in the movie like the evil, and then they're all getting pulled into it, they're becoming like Michael because of something with Haddonfield? Are we taking a stance on mob violence and that whole thing of people losing their identity and getting pulled up into, whatever it is going on with the mob at the time? Like, what is the statement being made? And once that got done with it, I was back in.
Well, I kind of choose to believe it's the stupidity of the people of Haddonfield, Illinois. It's a profile in the stupidity of people of Haddonfield. So,
and when did Anthony Michael Hall become a pseudo tough guy? And do you have to, when you're a tough guy, you're Anthony Michael Hall, he's got one movie, does this.
He's going to lean down and scowl.
Yeah, for all it's riveting podcasting, but I'm doing my best Anthony Michael Hall lean down, scowl, tough guy move like here.
Furrow your brow and look down. Yeah.
Yeah. And all I really wanted somebody to say, we're going to get Michael in the nuts. In the nuts? In the family jewels?
In the nuts? So, of course, you got Jamie Lee Curtis back as Laurie Strode. Judy Greer is back as Karen, Laurie's daughter. Andy Matichek is Allison, the granddaughter. I kind of like that Will Patton. I like Will Patton's character is Frank Hawkins, the sheriff deputy. His character is pretty good. Anthony Michael Hall is Tommy Doyle, who was the kid that Laurie babysat in the original Halloween. And we got Robert Longstreet as Lonnie, who we hear. The only time I remember Lonnie is in the original one. Lonnie, get your ass away from there. And bullying Tommy at the beginning. It's a boogie. It's the boogeyman's coming for you. The boogeyman's coming for you. I think Charles Cyphers is back as Lee Brackett. Nancy Stevens back as Marion Chambers, and Kyle Richards is back as Lindsay. Lindsay is one of the other kids who are being babysat. So, do you want to hit us with the critical consensus, Neil?
Let us do that. All right, Rotten Tomatoes, 39%.
I think that's too low.
Really too low. And I wanted to let that, because I know you'd already read that before, but 39%.
Yeah.
And that's out of 280 people. That's the best they could get. That's an average rating of 5 of 10. 50%. Didn't even pass. The site's critical consensus reads, Halloween Kills should satisfy fans in search of brute slasher thrills, but in terms of advancing the franchise, it's a bit less than the sum of its bloody parts. Metacritic has got a weighted average score of 42 out of 100 based on 45 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews, and audiences surveyed by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B- on an A+ to F scale. Lower than the B+ earned by its 2018 predecessor, which that's still too low of a score. While those polled at PostTrack gave it a 69% positive score, with 52% saying they would definitely recommend it, because the other 48 are morons. All right,
so
Barry.
This is going to stop for a second, because I think people have unrealistic expectations out of what they want out of a Halloween movie. What are they expecting? Have they not seen Rob Zombie's Halloween movies? Have they not seen Halloween Resurrection and Halloween H20 and Halloween The Return to the Curse of Michael Myers and The Return of Michael Myers? And I mean, have they not seen how stupid those movies are? This movie is goddamn Citizen Kane compared to those movies. What were they expecting?
You're getting really bright red. I need you to calm down here so that you can make it through the rest of the podcast.
What were they expecting?
I don't know.
It's like watching Jason Goes to Space and saying, I really thought it was contrived and the motivation of Jason just didn't really fulfill my expectations. The allegory and the denouement was not good. It's not sufficient enough for me. You want to see Michael Myers and Jason kill a bunch of people in creative ways. That is a Halloween movie.
You left the best part when you were doing your little impression there. Well, actually,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If I knew this guy from the Globe and Mail, I would not have called him Barry. I would have called him Barely. Barry Hertz from the Globe and Mail was positive in his review, saying that the film was brimming with odd decisions, but added there is something entertaining or maybe just enjoyably puzzling about what Gordon Green and McBride think a Michael Myers movie could or ought to be. Reviewing the film for expound, please. Reviewing the film for The Wrap, Asher Luberto praised the return of cast members from the 1978 film and wrote, Green seems less interested in rewriting the Halloween playbook than giving audiences what they came for. From ghastly scares to ghoulish score, it's a strategy that promises to make the series as immortal as Michael Myers himself. Yeah, you knew as soon as you saw those people from the original movies, like, they're fucking dead.
Yeah.
They're not making it out of this. You're not going to make it at all. Films, Marshall Schaefer gave the film a 7.5 out of 10 and said, there's a good reason to be excited for how Green will bring this all to a head in his grand finale. Halloween Kills manages to put a playful but petrifying spin on mythology without resorting to cheap self-referentiality. Brian Tuft, Truitt. We're going to go with that. Of USA Today gave the film 2.5 out of 4 stars, saying that it was gruesomely brutal as a night spent with Michael Myers should be.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian. But added, and this, don't fuck this up, Brian, it loses some of its skull-crushing effectiveness juggling rampant carnage and social commentary. He didn't fuck it up. He hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. If it was a little heavy-handed, I will agree. Yes, definitely.
Owen Gleiberman of Variety wrote, Halloween Night may be Michael Myers' masterpiece, but Halloween Kills is no masterpiece. It's a mess, a slasher movie that's almost never scary, slathered with topical pablum, and with too many parallel plot strands that don't go anywhere. This is also noted that Owen Gleiberman has no friends and is horrible at parties. Kyle Smith of National Review criticized the violence in the film, writing, the only element that excites more than it nauseates is the terrific score, and called the film grueling, enervating, and dispiriting. Because he was shocked, he went to a movie about a mass murderer who mass murdered people brutally.
Yeah. What do they expect? What I was expecting from the movie is Tommy Doyle to sit down and have a dialogue with Michael Myers, with the doctor, and they work out their trauma together. And at the end, we all grow closer and understand how generational trauma is bad. And they have tea and the movie's over.
Okay, so we had Barry Hertz. Get this one. We had Barry Hertz. This one's the best. David Fear of Rolling Stone wrote, Kills comes incredibly close to erasing every ounce of goodwill that Green's revolutionary redo built up. It murders the desire to ever watch another Halloween movie again. David Fear. David, I fear you think a little bit too much of yourself. Brian Lowry of CNN said that the film was odd on various levels, starting with the wholly misguided attempt to weave a half-baked message into this bloody mayhem. And again, Edit that out, get a great movie. And wrote, if the previous movie conjured a bit of excitement by eradicating everything that had transpired after the original, that sense of novelty has quickly worn off. You, sir, may promptly fuck off. Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film score a score of 2 of 4, describing it as thudding disappointment. I've had stays at motels that I would call that. An inconsistent, sloppy mess. Also, same. Kevin Marr of the Times gave the film 1 out of 5, describing it as a depressingly mechanical gore fest. Also, I've had things, yes, described that way as well, that has nothing to offer the sentient viewer. Clarissa, hard to pronounce last name, of The Independent gave the film 2 of 5 stars, describing it as a lurching, directionless corpse of a film that relies far too much on the knowledge that it has one more installment in which to figure out what the whole blasted trilogy should be about. Michael Myers killing fuckers. That's what it should be about. Linda Merrick of the Jewish Chronicle. What a mensch. Is she going to kvetch about this? Oh, see what it did? I tied that in?
Yeah.
Thank you. Gave the film 2 of 5 stars, deeming it a shambolic, risible mess, which is further hampered by a total absence of genuinely scary bits. Robbie, I want to slap these people. Why did we put all of this in here? Robbie Collin of the Daily Telegraph also gave the film 2 out of 5 stars because he, like most everyone else we've read, is an unbearable prick. Writing Halloween Kills certainly feels more like Halloween, but the game board is left exactly as it was found in readiness for round 13. 13. The only thing that advances is the body count. Thank God. However, Aidan Juvate of Bleeding Cool referred to the film as worthwhile middle chapter of a trilogy. The middle kid can't get any respect. Yes, the whole thing in the center of the movie, oh, we're all becoming evil. Yeah, a little heavy-handed. But you shake that off.
And what was Halloween originally? You know, the original Halloween was a low-budget, efficiently shot, creative slasher film.
And okay, Halloween, you have no idea. Michael just stands there and then he starts killing people. You got no idea why.
Mm-hmm.
We see him in the second movie. Just standing there watching, being all evil and creepy. He gets loose, starts killing people. We don't know why. And then someone tries to make a little sense of it in the middle and then just realizes, you know what? We've just got to get rid of this. Everything will be better.
Yeah. No Thorn trilogy, no Sister, no Druids, and all sorts of shit like that.
You just need one of those spinny, whirly crush things and everything will be fucking great.
Yeah. What I really, really liked is the way they recreated the 70s film. The way they made Michael look, the way they made the house look, the way they made the set was built on a soundstage. So they rebuilt the Myers house on a soundstage, and they recreated the trees and everything. Really, I mean, just with a lot of attention to detail from the original movie, and it shows because everything looks just perfect. The mask looks perfect. The guy who recreated Mask said he looked pretty much like to make sure that every hair was in place like it was in the original movie. The Blu-ray for Halloween Kills has a lot of really, really good supplemental material about the making of the movie, and it's really awesome, especially all the stuff about how they try to recreate the 70s. The costume designer, just looked at everything and tried to make everything as perfect, and they did that really, really well. They captured that perfectly as the one with the most fun parts. And they had a younger stuntman play Michael Myers in the 70s so he could move faster and a little more precise than older Michael in 2018.
Advil Michael, Tylenol Michael.
But I think it looks really, really cool. We find out that, Allison's boyfriend is still running around. He finds the deputy, surprisingly not dead, and helps him, and then flashes back after getting stabbed in the neck in the last movie. And then you go back to that flashback and you see the bratty kids Lonnie runs into Michael Myers as well. It's just fun. Also, we see that Michael still eats dogs. He likes to munch on dogs. So yeah,
Man's got to eat.
he's got to eat. Yep. Mm-hmm. I feel bad for Deputy Hawkins, who actually mistakenly shoots his partner in the neck. Not good.
So, okay. How good was that, though, when he's laying down there and he's upset and crying, that he's got the little hole and it's gushing at a pretty steady rate and then it slows down.
Yeah.
I love that little detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, the special effects in this movie are really amazing. I liked the opening credits where they show the different Halloween pumpkins, 12 pumpkins for each, one for each movie, and it starts back with the on fire. I did enjoy them going and talking to, or going back and wondering the story of Tommy Doyle and Lindsay and Lonnie and all those kind of people. It just kind of it was cool to see how the rest of the town was affected by Michael Myers and the shit that happened to them.
How deeply affected were you personally, Dave, to see Michael Myers so heartlessly, so cruelly, without thought, without care, with little motivation, wipe out that whole fucking fire crew? David, what are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts about this stance on firefighters?
Like, Eric, I want to play poker with you, Eric, because you knew exactly where I was going. Your face was like, give it to Eric. Give it to me.
Yeah, I think that if we always joke about that when at work, that if it was a bunch of wildland firefighters, we'd have tobacco in our mouths. We hadn't showered for days. And we've got chainsaws with really long bars. And not this little circular saw that they would have had, obviously. But yeah, we would have been like, fuck it, we're going after this guy with our chainsaw, like swinging that thing like when we're trying to cut down big trees. So
I like when he cranked that thing on there. Like, let's go, Michael.
That was cool. That scene was so beautifully shot, though. I just loved like the cinematography and that whole scene just kicked out. And then like when he comes out of the house and it's on fire.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Slow motion. Yeah, and everybody's like, oh, fuck. And then they just start prepping for like, we know we're about to get in a massive fight right here. It was such a cool scene.
If you learn anything from these movies, at least this movie in particular, is that if you're going to attack somebody, you don't come swinging way out like this. Because what's going to happen is Michael's going to go put one hand up and go, nope. And then straight in, stab.
Well, this is the one thing I noticed when watching it, is that this is probably the most intelligent that Michael Myers seems in any of the movies. He is still, doesn't talk, you don't know what's going on, but you can see that he's kind of thinking when he's going to do something. You know what I mean? When especially when the part where Allison and her boyfriend are trying to kill him up in the house, the way he disarms Allison seems very, very smart. And then the cruelty that he used to kill. She's like, "You leave him alone." He's like, "Oh yeah, whatever."
What happened if I do this?
Yeah, and
what if your boyfriend wants to see the ceiling too?
But also in this part too, when he comes out of the house and they're coming at him, his moves are so smooth. He's not like doing sorts of like martial arts or something like that. It's just his brute strength. And his ability to, he's the best at killing, and killing is what he does, and he's going to kill all these fuckers and make it look easy.
Fucking firefighters, man. Everybody passing the boot around and putting money in it and shit, and the dog, and they get all the cool. Okay, so, all right. So, yeah, really cool, very brutal. I agree, thinking the one that was weird to me is, first off, it's just an old married couple. What is it? Like you're making sandwiches and playing with little drones and shit, which I do inside my house too. But when he's got the dude over the island, like, what's with that? Going back, getting another one like you've never seen it before, and going in again.
He's just testing the knives, just trying to figure out
what what I was figuring out. Like, is he checking to see? Like, no, but I don't like the feel of that.
Yeah, this one has the most.
Do I like the feel of this?
Yeah, this doesn't.
So
I think
Wait, sorry. Which version did you guys watch? I watched the one with the extra footage.
I watched the theatrical. I didn't watch the extended.
Oh, dude, did you watch the extended, Dave?
Yeah.
When he pops the dude's eyeballs out and they come squirting out like grapes.
They do that in the theatrical version when he gets the Big John, and his eyes go like grapes coming out of the side of the.
I couldn't remember. So Neil, help me with this, and Eric too, I guess. What was the difference in the version that we watched, Neil? Because I did watch the theatrical or the extended cut, and I was trying to figure out exactly what
I was reading about the difference in the cuts, and at the end, Lori calls Karen's cell phone, and she can hear Michael breathing, and she says, like, basically, "I'm fucking on my way to get to you," and she gets her knife and starts walking out of the house. I mean, out of the hospital.
Oh, okay. So that was okay.
Difference.
Okay, so this family is built different. I have had surgery, not where they had to open up my fucking abdominal wall to check to see if I had any internal damage, but I've had some surgeries and stuff. At a big old mass tumor removed from my lower back, 8-inch scar on that thing, and then they cut me loose that very day as soon as I could get up and walk. And there is no way I would have been running around or getting in the back of a truck or attacking anybody at that point. But this family's built different. From Lori all the way to Michael. That was, I mean, God, how many, they stapled her back together and she's like, you know what? I'm going to get around and run around. I'm going to come get you. Stab myself in the ass. It makes the pain go away. Yeah, for a few hours, but then it's going to come raging right back at you, Lori.
The one thing that they do in this movie is they set the victims up where you actually kind of care about them a little bit. Just like case in point with the older couple, where they can smell the fire from Lori's house, and not like the guy's like, oh, she lives a highly flammable lifestyle, and then Michael's in there. I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe that's when he bandaged himself up from from getting his finger shot off, because he does have a bandage after that. After that scene, maybe he goes in there and bandages himself up, but he kills that poor that couple. And apparently he doesn't kill the lady because she is in Halloween Ends, because they're giving Lori a guilt trip for not killing him or something. She's like in a wheelchair and she's all bandaged up or whatever.
Yeah, because she got stuck in the throat, but she's still like rasping and watching as you know what that reminded me of? And all of our moms probably had this, the weird sewing kit that looked like a tomato that you could put the pins in the top. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just treating him like that thing, just one after the other, just going for it.
Yeah. The other part that I love, and David and I were talking about it, is when the nurse and the doctor and Marion and Lindsay are all in the car together, and he jumps on top of the car. And the way he makes the girl kill herself by kicking the door, and the gun turns on, she just blasts herself. Yeah, hilarious.
Yes,
hilarious. Oh. Also, he stabs the guy right in the freaking eye. That part was awesome.
Yeah, and there was a great weird noise too. He's like, "Oh."
That was easily my favorite, probably like kill sequence of the whole movie. When the dramatic old lady with the gun, she's like, "This is for Dr. Loomis," and click, 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 and then just like the look of fear on her face, and she's like, "She fucked up."
Yeah.
How many terrible gun safety? She was like firing inside that car, like.
How many times had she shot that man, David?
9 times.
That was by far. It's just one of those things. It's like some horror movies, like the people, they survive it, and only for one weird thing to get them at the end. Mm-hmm. And that's a trope. I like. Please just kill them, rather than, oh my God, we're all safe. Oh no, here comes the rabid dog from hell, or something like this. But the fact she's in that car, they're thinking they're going to do anything, like a bunch of yayas. Mm-hmm. And is it just me, when someone starts firing a gun, do you start counting the rounds?
Oh, I always do. 100%.
Yeah. I'm sitting there like, oh, nope, you done fucked up, lady.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Dr. Loomis could have counted. Or had a speed loader. Shot him 6 times.
I just love the kills are great. Big John, Little John. Little John you don't see because he's like, you come home, Michael, but the Little John gets it and they gets stabbed under the arm, and then his eyes just look like grapes, just in a bowl or something.
It does. It looks like it too because they pop out.
Yeah, pop out perfectly. Really good on that one. Like we talked about earlier, the part that drags is when they're chasing the crazy guy around the hospital, and we're the monsters or whatever. Yes, we get it. Mob justice and stuff like that. But like to me, I like to say it's a profile of stupid people rather than the way the mob acts. Just everybody's dumb. We're going to go out and kill this guy who we've known already on the news says has killed 11 firefighters. He's killed a couple of cops, 3 kids, 3 teenagers and stuff like that. So he's killed like 20 people, and these people are like, hey, we're going to go get this guy. And it doesn't turn out too well for them.
God, I love when they cornered him and they surrounded him and they thought they were going to be badasses. And yeah. And it's the number one rule. If we're ever in this situation, Eric knows, Dave knows, I know, that head's getting chopped off first thing. That head's coming off the body. You're down, you're still for more than 2 or 3 seconds. That shovel's coming out, bam, right down, coming right off. Or it's getting stomped until it's flat. One thing I do appreciate about Michael is his sense of style. He kills somebody. It's not just enough to kill somebody. You've got to put them in a nice little, little setting, like recreate a picture or hang people up by, playground equipment or on the merry-go-round and stuff like that. Just you gotta do it.
He's an artist.
This is the same guy who drops teeth like he's reading voodoo bones. When you're in the toilet.
Yeah. Those kids were annoying as hell to me going back. When Lindsay's like, kids, you got to run. They're like, there's a guy, not today. He's a perfect. But they're like perfectly cast annoying kids.
Yeah.
You wanted them to get killed.
You so wanted them to go. You wanted them to go so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Run, kids, run. Go see if he has candy first.
Yeah. Ask him say hi, Mr. Myers. The funny thing about this that kind of makes me laugh is that only one guy had a gun. The security guard had a gun, and the guy in the tiger costume had a gun. And you would think that everybody else in the mob would have shown up with a gun.
Oh my God, there's a killer, and we're all going to get together and kill him. I'm literally on the other side of this wall, and then I'm coming back out. Good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to go.
I'm not going to get a freaking iron. Some lady had an iron. Did you notice that? She had, and another, one person has an iron, and the person's got like a hockey stick. Another one's got like the what's the Indian baseball
cricket bat?
Cricket bat. Yes.
Yeah.
Cricket bat. Cricket bat. Yeah.
What if his jumpsuit is too wrinkly? How weird is it that we're going to celebrate some weird shit that went on in our town with some like fucked up ventriloquist talent show?
Yeah, it just shows that Haddingfield's kind of a boring place. There's not much to do except for to go to the local dive bar and watch an awful talent contest and tell ghost stories. Though,
could you guys be quiet? I'm trying to watch the show. Could you please be quiet? Shh. Trying to watch it.
One thing that I wanted from this movie is the zesty popcorn in the popcorn machine at the bar. It said zesty popcorn. I'm like, I want some zesty popcorn. What the hell?
That bartender was awesome, though. I'd love for him to pour me a couple rounds. He was pretty good. I liked it.
But everybody gets killed. Michael is just like, fuck this, kills everybody in just the way you want to get it, especially Tommy Doyle. I think Tommy Doyle was like a fake tough guy. He was pretending to be tough just to put on, hey, I'm going to stand up and, not be totally traumatized by what happened to me as a kid. Then he summarily was taken care of.
Taken out. All right, here's what we're going to going around town recruiting people. I'm going to recruit toughs outside the local bodega.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are going to run up to 66th and 5th. You're going to go over to Central and the Parkway. And then what we're going to do is perform a pincer movement. But we're all going to stand like this with the eyes furrowed, right? And in the pincer movement, you're going to come around from 17th and Martha, and then we're all going to come in. And then what we do is we're going to surround him. We're going to kind of circle a little bit to get him dizzy, right? And then you with the hockey stick, you're going to knock his feet out. You plug that iron in. You get that iron nice and hot. Maybe bring an extension. maybe bring an extension cord, because if we're near the park, there's going to be a light post that's got an indoor-outdoor electrical socket there. So you get there first to get that ready, but go hide in that bush. He's like getting everybody riled up and has this huge plan. And then what's he do? He attacks him with a big outside swing. And he just straight up the middle, sticks him. Fuck that guy.
I like when Michael takes his bat and you don't see it fully on screen, but just the big old gush of blood hits Michael's. He just obliterated Tommy Doyle in the most violent way.
Yeah. I was thinking like with Tommy Doyle, if I'm standing outside 7-Eleven or whatever, and I got a fucking big gulp, and he pulls up in his 80s Mustang or whatever the hell fuck he was driving, and he's like, we're getting him, he's like punching, he's like, you're doing this and you're doing this. I'm like, yeah, dude, yeah. He drives off. I'm going back in the gas station, getting a shit ton of snacks at 7-Eleven. I'm getting in my car and I'm driving 100 miles to the town to the west of Haddonfield. And I'm going to go get in a Motel 6 somewhere. And I'm just going to ride it out there.
Write it out, yes.
Ride it out. I'm like, dude, Tommy, great. You want me to cover the west side of town? Got it. I'm going right back inside, getting some fucking 7-Eleven burritos, or Allsops. I'm going to say in this one, I'm in Allsops.
Oh, there you go. Attaboy. Yes.
Yeah.
Chili and bean.
Yeah, just Allsops. Bring all that shit in, right? Get into the car, put on some good music. I'm fucking going west to the Motel 6. I don't know why Motel 6, but it just...
Yeah, because I'm not going to be anywhere where I know Michael Myers is going to be. I'm like, getting the fuck out of Dodge. He's killed 4 cops and then the 11 firefighters.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Yeah, and then when you come back that night and everyone's dead, and they're like, "Fuck, he got away again." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like, I'm going home. I'm gonna grab just a small Adidas gym bag full of like belongings. I'm going back to Allsops, and I'm gonna grab more shit, and I'm going further west." And
putting the house up for sale.
Yeah,
I'm not leaving it.
I'm turning that bitch into an Airbnb, and I'm getting the fuck out of town.
Just in case he's on your trail, if we're going straight up New Mexican Michael Myers, I'm going to leave. There's going to be a little bit of Blake's, maybe a green chili cheeseburger. Yeah. I'll leave him a slice of Dion's with their kick-ass ranch. I'll leave him an Allsup's chimichanga, and then I don't know if he seems like an iced tea or a Coke kind of guy. I'm thinking Michael is a Coke kind of guy. I'd leave him a nice cold Coke and then boot.
Yeah, Michael, we good? We good? This is
we good?
Yeah,
we good?
Right. Yeah. I'm going to the pound. I'm going to get a bunch of dogs and I'm going to put them in my backyard. I'm like, Mike, look what I got for you. There's a bunch of dogs located in the street.
Look at the high end, the flanks on this dog here.
Put the green chili sauce all over the dogs. Just let him go. Yo, Michael, are we good or what, eh?
It's good.
Yeah. Take it.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, we should write a New Mexican movie. We should do a New Mexican version of this and just meeting up with like cholos with bad attitude, like in Albuquerque, and just like the way shit goes down.
Dude, did you see Michael Myers or what?
You know, all sick. He's so bad. He's so bad.
That guy's looking at me all crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people are so stupid in Haddonfield. And that's the fun part about the movie. That's one thing that I think the critics absolutely get wrong. They're looking for some deeper meaning and, some sort of thing like that. It's a slasher movie. We are here to see Michael slash people. It's called Halloween Kills, not Halloween Negotiates or Halloween Discussion or Halloween,
Halloween Ponders Existence.
Halloween Mediation, It's Halloween Kills. And there's 31 kills in this movie. The most out of any Halloween film.
When they start, I mean, first off, you're killing dogs. That's always a bad one in a movie. But when you start off in the firefighters, because everybody fucking loves firefighters, shit was going to be real. But I also love the fact that those guys, like David said, they just started gearing up like, okay, we're getting ready to have a fight. Let's go.
Yeah, the
And you
guy
know
should
what?
have turned up the water instead of turned it down.
Yeah, it looked like you hit him with the garden hose. Stop!
Yeah, the pressure wasn't very high on that.
No.
Michael, probably the first time he'd taken a bath in forever.
Dude, he was fresh out of the institute, man. He'd had a bath.
Yeah, that's true though. He looked like he was, at least somewhat taken care of in the institute. But, yeah, I love this movie. I agree with Neil. It drags a little bit, it gets a little heavy-handed, but as far as a kill delivery system, how much more? I mean, what more could you ask for in this movie?
Not much, and you get enough of a side view of Michael to see he's got that jacked up eye where she put the coat hanger right into it, and that's always my gripe in some of those other movies when he's got the mask and you can see he has both eyes.
Yeah,
and there was a little bit of eye action at the beginning, but then it went back to totally black.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice balance of seeing his eyes just a little bit, but then going back to the black.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see it. The one that's the worst thing about Halloween H20 or H2O or whatever the fuck you call it is that you can see his eyes the entire time, and it's just some jabroni in a Halloween mask. It's not the shape, where if it's done well, like even in the 78 sequence and in the whole movie, is that he is unknowable. And you take the mask off and he's still. It takes that power away from him a little bit, but he gets it back, and you still see that he's the ultimate, evil. And he is looking out the window. All he wants to do is just get back to home and look out the window and figure out what the hell's going on. There's really no, explanation for him, and that's when he's the scariest.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they cleared up, Lori thinks it's all about her, and he's coming after her and all that, and finally the one cop's like, "That bitch is not coming after you. He just wants to go stand in his window and look out."
Yeah.
It's like, it's not about you. You just happen to be, in these areas.
And when the Dr. Sertain took him basically to her doorstep in 2018 Halloween, because he wanted to see, prove his hypothesis before he got his head stomped in, which is the best kill of Halloween 2018.
That's a good kill.
Getting his head just stomped. Best kill in this movie is the eye gouging. That was the best one.
The special effects, though, when the guy took the header out of the hospital was pretty.
Yes,
pretty good too.
Yeah, that was pretty gross. There was lots of gore in that one. That's what I like about this movie. It just does not hold back on the gore. And I feel like if you go back and watch Halloween 4, 5 or 6, and they were heavily edited and stuff like that, they aren't scary and they're not gory. Where now we have the people are desensitized and want to see as gory as you can get, and then they lived up to their promise in this one.
That and then some.
Yeah.
David, what is your top 10 Halloween movies? Well, there's only 13, so you could categorize them if you'd like.
Oh fuck, top 10. How about I just give you the original?
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go 18. And then probably Halloween 2. I think 1982 version?
81, yeah.
81. And then I'd probably have to go Halloween Kills. I'm going to have to watch Halloween Ends again to really decide. But I think Halloween 4 was the one that was always on TV a lot that would probably be close to that top 5. Other than that, the others are all just complete shit.
Yeah, and yours pretty much almost exactly lines up with mine. It's original 2018. I would say Kills is number 3 now, just because I've been watching a lot, and then Halloween 2 from 81, Halloween 4, and then 3. Then after that, you can just throw them in any order because they all suck. Except for at the end, the bottom, you got to put Rob Zombie Halloween 1 and Rob Zombie Halloween 2 is the bottom 2.
So bad.
Yeah,
I have no words. I'm lost for words right now. Did Rob Zombie's Halloween make enough money that it warranted a second one, or was that a deal?
I think that it made enough money to warrant a second one, and he kind of got forced to do it because he didn't want to do it. They contractually held him to doing it instead of doing another movie. So
so bad.
2 is just all over the place. It makes no goddamn sense, and he's got
his wife, Sherry Moon Zombie, in a white outfit, has Michael Myers' mom with a horse leading him around to kill people and stuff. And Michael Myers looks like his mask is, he's not wearing the mask very much in the movie. It's kind of like halfway broken, and he looks just like a giant homeless man in the movie.
So bad. It's probably the worst. Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 has to be that by far the worst, right next to maybe the Buster Rhymes one, which is so bad. I mean,
I still think Halloween Resurrection is the worst. The one with Buster Rhymes is just so bad. They kill Laurie off for no reason at the beginning of the movie, and the rest is just the stupid dangertainment reality show webcam bullshit. It's just so bad. So bad. Yeah. All right, everybody. That was it. Halloween Kills. Check it out. I enjoy it. The more I watch it, the more I enjoy it. But I do wind up like Neil, kind of skipping through the hospital scenes a little bit. But it has made me reevaluate the series as a whole, and I think it's still my favorite slasher series. Followed by Friday the 13th. Yeah. And then maybe Texas Chainsaw or Nightmare on Elm Street, one of those two are in there. What is your favorite series, Neil?
Geez, it used to be. I would have said Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
Would have, but I'm gonna go now with this trilogy. After watching it, I would have not. I didn't even kind of put them together. I felt that they were sort of independent movies, like in my head. But after watching it last week and then going back to watch Halloween again and seeing how well done that Halloween was, and then the second one was, super excited by that. This it's an ugly middle child, and the end could have been a little bit better, but damn, yeah, there's just way more in here than I think any of the other series.
Yeah,
it's just like watching Friday the 13th Part 1 and Part 2. Good, done. You could have just left with those two, and you had great horror movies.
Yeah.
But the remake, the Friday the 13th remake, though, I dig a lot.
That's good. I wish they would have done more with that. Like they could have continued that series better, because it was a really, really good amalgamation of Part 1 and Part 2 in the remake, where it's the guy's going back to find his sister, and Jason is just fucking mean and brutal in the remake, and he's smarter than he is in the in the other ones. Just kind of like how Michael in this one is a little more savvy and deliberate. But yeah. All right. Last thoughts, David?
Go watch it. It's an entertaining movie.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. If you want to send us a suggestion for the rest of the year, we're going to start off with Maximum Overdrive, and then from that, the future is open. We don't really have exactly a set path yet. I'm trying to figure out what's the most fun for December, maybe some bigger, more popular movies, but in November, it's usually Turkey Month, but I don't want to dwell into the obscure that much, maybe, because I like listeners. The listeners are important, so during doing some really, really obscure, I kind of want to do Never Too Young to Die with Gene Simmons, but it's only on Fubo.
Nope.
And nobody has Fubo, and I don't want to torture everybody that bad.
As soon as you sent me that, I knew you'd want to watch that. So no.
Yeah.
That was like a horror moment for me. Not just Gene Simmons overacting, but just the thought that Eric's probably going to want to watch this piece of shit.
It's so bad. It is indescribably bad. Yeah. All right. If you want to get a hold of us, rvspodcast222@gmail.com. We are on Instagram and we are on Facebook. So look us up there. If you want to contribute to the cause, go to buymeacoffee.com, look up the Retro Video Store. And we appreciate your email. We'll read it on the air if you have any suggestions, and if you want to let us know about your Halloween experiences as well. So hit us up. And after that, thank you, everybody.
Everybody have a good week. Watch this movie.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you for listening to the Retro Video Store Podcast.